hockey. Hockey. My chick is so icy, that bitch hockey. Yo, it's Hollywood Rocc, and I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bastard. Hockey. My neck is so icy, that.
All right, today we got Hollywood Rocc jumping off the porch with us today.
What up?
What's going on with your gang?
Man, coolin', man. Just working and grinding, man.
For sure, I can respect that. It's dope to have you here with us today, for sure.
Man, thanks for having me.
Man, no problem. So tell us, what you out here working on in Atlanta?
Man, Ride of My Life album, man. I just dropped it like in March, man. See, this the cover, man. Cover of the album right there. I just dropped it in March, man. Going crazy right now, so the DJ's just starting to spin in the hockey joint.
For sure. Mm-hmm. So you originally from Chicago?
Yeah, Roseland, Hundreds.
Okay, wow.
Wow, Hundreds.
Okay. So for those who wouldn't know, what part of the city is that?
Man, that's far south side, man. We have it's broken to like the east side, west side, low end, you know what I'm saying, north side, but I'm like far south, like right before the burbs. You know what I'm saying, I'm in Roseland, 107 Wentworth.
All right. So how would you describe your childhood coming up?
Man, my childhood was gravy, man. It was good, man. My mom and pops, they did a lot for me, man, to try to keep me on the right path, and you know what I'm saying? And I just started messing with the music thing and trying to, man, you know, like in the hood, man, I just was trying to get my family up out of there, you know what I'm saying? They did the best they could or whatever, but I took a lot of losses too, man. My pops died earlier, man, on my 18th birthday. So when he died, it was just me and my mom, so I was like, man, I had to step up faster, you know what I'm saying? And I always wanted to get my mom out that situation. And then I took a lot of L's in my life, man. Then I lost my mom, and then I was like, that was the reason why I started rapping. You know what I'm saying? So is to get her out of there, show her a better life or whatever, but unfortunately I couldn't do that, but she's still in me and still blessing the nigga, you know what I'm saying?
I respect that. When would you say you jumped off the porch?
Man, probably about 14, 15, start getting out there just, you know what I'm saying, with the guys and getting into stuff. But I was always smart, man. I always was a leader, man. So it wasn't nothing you could get me to do. You couldn't peer pressure me. You know what I'm saying? I was just too much of a boss. So, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of things I didn't partake into because I was a leader. If I would be the one that leading the people to do it. You know what I'm saying?
So when did you move to Atlanta?
About 4 years ago. That's what I said. After I lost my mom, I was like, what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm saying? I used to always do back to school events for the kids. And with my own money, man, I did like 3 years in a row, man, and had jumpy houses, giving book bags. So the hood was like, damn, this nigga doing this type of stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, with just regular working money, you know what I'm saying? So they started breaking into my crib. So I guess they felt like, damn, okay, this nigga must got something, you know what I'm saying? So after that, I was like, dang, I gotta do something, man. I'm like, they broke in right before Christmas, then they broke another time out of that, broke in a car, and then we started trying to figure out like who did it and all that. It was just getting too much. So I was like, man, you know what? You know what I'm saying? It might be time to go and get up out of here and start to elevate my career.
Nah, for sure. How would you compare the two cities, Chicago and Atlanta?
Good question. Man, Atlanta rock with each other. You know what I'm saying? Chicago is still kind of divided because, man, it's the gang city. You know what I'm saying? We got all types of gangs. You know what I'm saying? And man, you could be taking your trash out, and it's a different gang in the back of you. You know what I'm saying? Across the alley, and you go to the school on the corner. You know what I'm saying? And y'all all mingle in the same school. Or you go to the grocery store and y'all all going so it's easy to see your ops. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is so close together, man. It could be just a whole nother gang just across the street, you know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. But I feel like because we changed the game as far as the drill music, far as the the lingo, the thought talk, everything, you know what I'm saying, we changed the game on. So we have had a big, you know what I'm saying, impact on the game or whatever, you know what I'm saying. So if we stuck together, man, we'd be just like the A, man. That's one thing I rock with the A, man. They all rock with each other.
For sure. How would you describe the transition from Chicago to Atlanta moving here?
Man, we getting deep now. Man, it was hard though. It was hard because, like I was saying, I was doing back to school kids for the event, so I was doing good financially. And for my family, I just had to stop, and I had to stop everything and start all over. And when I came here, man, things ain't panning out like how it was at first. So man, I took a lot of L's, man. I came here and I slept in the studio. I ain't even had no place to stay. So I had a family member, man, you know what I'm saying? He, exec, you know what I'm saying, that Waller, man, he put me in the studio and I just locked in the studio, man, and just lived in there, man. I had to pay for a Planet Fitness membership so I could just go take a shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, I lived in the studio, but that's how I take a shower, man. I go to the Planet Fitness, I work out, I fake like I work out a little bit, and just so I could go hop in the showers. And they be like, hey, he just coming here to take a shower and leave. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about your album cover, which is the...
Oh, my album? Oh, okay. Yeah, this is me right here. Man, January 1st, man, 2009, man, I was in a real bad car accident, man. The story went, man, my buddies and everybody, man, they was calling me like, man, it's New Year's, what you doing tonight? I was like, man, what's popping? You know what I'm saying? My license was suspended for something before, so I couldn't drive. So, you know what I'm saying? So I had to get a ride to the party or whatever. So I'm trying to see what's going on. So my mom called me and my sister, and they was like, we got a feeling, man, we don't think you should go out tonight. So I'm like, man, it's New Year's. It's popping tonight. Like, I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't tell them. So I went over to my buddy crib. Anyway, man, the party was fine and cool because his grandma, I think she was like a politician or something. So I'm going to go over there because I know it's going to be safe and everything. The dude I got in the car with, you know what I'm saying, I had knew him from high school, but we wasn't one of my guys. And he's like, man, I'll stay your way. You can ride with me. And, man, I was in the car with him, and we just talking. And while we on the E-way, man, we on the Bishop Ford, while I'm talking to him, he got his eyes open, and I look, I'm like, oh, this nigga sleep. Next thing you know, I look up, pow! I mean, I just hit the windshield, man. They said I went the windshield. I'm on the side of the road, man. I'm like, I'm getting up, you know what I'm saying? I'm walking, and I hear females crying. I don't know, I still to this day, I would like to know who those females was, but they was crying. They was like, and I just thought I was good. I'm like, man, I'm good. I'm wiping my eyes, but I thought it was water or something. So I'm like, but I didn't know it was blood. So I'm like, I'm good. So she telling her boyfriend like, man, he think he's good. He like, shh, he's like, don't tell him. And then I just passed out and I just kept saying, man, where's the paramedics? And I kept saying, man, my mama gonna get me. Not knowing like, man, I probably could die. And that's the crazy thing in my mind. I was worried about, you know what I'm saying? My mom, like man, she gonna get me because it took me back to that moment. She told me she had a feeling. She was like, not to go out. I feel this, you shouldn't be out tonight. And that thing was in my head. So that's what inspired the cover, man, because after that accident, my music got better, my grind got better. You know what I'm saying? Of course, niggas still go through trials and tribulations sometimes, but man, everything been going up since then, man.
For real. Did that accident change your perspective on life?
Yeah, man. You live every day like your last, man. And I'm a big dude, man. I always call people, man. Like my man Jay Mazur, man. We was just talking the other day, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I called, man, I love you, dog. I love you. You know what I'm saying? And he had another one too, like, man, niggas be thinking they too cool for that. Or they'll wait too late. Man, I love it when the nigga gone. Man, I love my nigga, Man, give him his flowers while he here. You know what I'm saying? So you get off the phone, man, I love you, dog. Man, that's so, I take everything, you know what I'm saying? I don't take nothing for granted, man. Every minute I try to strive and live my life the best that I can, man. So at the end, I could be like, man, they could be like, man, that nigga did it, man. That nigga did it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What would you say is the biggest life lesson you learned growing up?
That's a good one, man. You coming with them. The biggest life lesson was, man, just appreciate and don't be hard-headed. When somebody's feeling something, you know what I'm saying, listen. See, I didn't listen that night. I'm like, I was worried about, man, it's popping, it's kicking it. I'm finna go out. I should have just listened. But I think it was God showing me, because I had started wilding out, man. I had started wilding out a little bit. I was, you know what I'm saying, wilding out. So I think that was God. It was gonna happen regardless. I feel like it was meant to happen in my life. But if I wasn't hard-headed and I had just listened, then, you know what I'm saying, you just gotta listen. That's basically what I'm saying.
Straight up. So when would you say you started making music?
Man, I started making music, man. I think I was about 14, 15, like right around the time you said jumping off the porch, about 14, 15, in the hood, like battling, you know what I'm saying? They would be battling niggas or whatever like that. I started doing that. Me and my man High, you know what I'm saying? My man behind me, man, we started rapping, you know what I'm saying? And I just tried continually to get better. And then at the end of the songs or whatever, they had a little instrumental playing a little bit, so I rap over that. And my mama was, you know what I'm saying, we was real into church, so she didn't want me rapping or whatever, so I started to sneak and do it. And then, but man, I just started getting better and better. We started doing shows and stuff, and all over Chicago, and man, then I just started taking it more serious. But I had met my dude, Dub, man, he a producer, you know what I'm saying, shout out to Dub. I'm like, when I met him, his beats was dope, and then we just really connected, and man, I just took off from there.
When would you say you decided to take music serious full time?
Full time? I think after my mixtape, Shafghanistan, man, y'all go look that up or whatever, you know what I'm saying, it's on all the platforms. Shafghanistan, man, Stack of Starve did that in Chicago, man. It's like after I did that, that's when I started seeing lyrically what I could do. And a lot of the joints on there, everybody started loving. And then I really started going hard with that mixtape, because I felt like, okay, everybody got to get gas, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, everybody got to stop and get gas. So I used to go all to the places in the hundreds and drop off like 15, 10 CDs and all the gas stations. And then the clerk was like, man, you selling them? I said, no, they free. Just put them right there and just tell them to grab one. And then as they leave, I'll come back and refill it. And that's when I started to grind on just like moving around and trying to get in the mix with people or whatever. So I started taking it serious like around the Shafghanistan.
That's hard. Who would you list as some of your musical influences?
Ooh, man, I always love Pop. I like Money Man, man. Money Man make you want to go get some money, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Straight
I rock
up.
Buddy Bad, Migos, man. Like them some of the ones, man. And right now, man, like I'm on tour with Tela, the legendary rapper Tela. So I'm the hype man for him. So I be around a lot of legends too on that, like Face, Too Short, Rick Ross, Jeezy. So because of him, I get to rub elbows with those type of people and peep their energy and see how they move too.
Straight like that. How would you say you got your rap name?
How I got my rap name? It was Wild Rock first, because of the Wild Hunters Rock. You know what I'm saying? When people call me Rock. I got it Hollywood Rocc because when I perform, ain't nobody touching me on that stage, man. That's how I got the hype man job with Tela, because they seen how I do on that stage, and I was like, man, I'm bananas on that stage. So every time, my name was Wild Rock, but every time I finished performing, they was like, oh, this nigga finna get Hollywood. They was like, man, he finna get Hollywood. And then my other brother that passed away, when I used to visit him, he'd be like, what up, Hollywood? What up, Hollywood? So I just took the wild off and just said Hollywood Rocc.
That's hard. Is it true that you got a chance to meet Kanye?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I got a chance to meet him, man. That was like right before the Shafghanistan thing, when I was telling you that, man. I started grinding, man. One day, man, I was working, man. I was There I was doing a security job, and I was working 6 to 6. So I got off at, what was that, 6 p.m. I worked from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So, and I was working downtown Chicago, so I had to get on the L, you know what I'm saying? They don't know what I'm talking about, I had to get on the bus or whatever. And my man's hit me, he was trying to manage me or whatever at that time or whatever. So he was like, man, Kanye's coming, he's having a show at the House of Blues. So I'm like, okay, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Tickets, I forgot how much the tickets were, but I'm like, let's go. So we get down there or whatever, we get to the show. So I had my CDs with me. So I tried to get in, the security guard was like, nah, you can't get in here with CDs, bro. So I'm like, man, we was parked a little away from the car. So I was like, I couldn't take them back. So I'm like, man, I hid them in the bushes. So I'm like, all right. So we went in there, we went in the show. Kanye did his thing, whatever. So we leave. So my buddy was like, he's like, man, they added another show for tomorrow. So he's like, man, let's go again. So I'm like, dude, it's like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. I was like, man, I gotta be at work at 6. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, so by the time I got home, it was about 4, so I ain't even get no sleep. So I just went straight to work again, did 12 hours, got off. Man, I hadn't been to sleep when we went right back to the show. So I told him, I said, man, I'm gonna wear the same outfit. He like, you is? I said, yeah, I'm wearing the same thing and I'm gonna do everything the same thing. The same way I walked yesterday, I'm gonna do everything the exact same. If I drink this, I'm doing everything the same. So he's like, man, that's crazy. So we get there, I had the same thing on, the security guard remembered me. He like, bro, you just was here last night. He's like, man, where your CDs at? I was like, man, they on me. He's like, man, you could bring them in today just because you did that. So I get in there, I go stand in the same spot, you know what I'm saying, that I was the day before. So Kanye doing his thing, so he stopped the music and he was just telling his life story or whatever. So a member of his crew was like at the edge of the stage. So I'm handing him the CD. So he coming to get it. As he coming to get it, Kanye is like, hey, stop the music. So he stopped the music. He's like, hey, little homie. He's like, don't you see I'm talking? He's like, don't you see I'm dressing the crowd trying to tell my life story? I'm like, they put the spotlight over me. I'm embarrassed. I'm mad though. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't nothing I can do. He on stage. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad though. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So the crowd like, oh, man, ever since then, I'm like, damn, I'm trying to do the same thing that got you on. Like, when you grind and hustle, like, you should have respected that, you know what I'm saying, that, okay, you know what I'm saying? I peep what you doing, man. And you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, damn, I came and seen you 2 nights. Man, that was crazy.
Yeah, that's a vibe though. How would you describe your current thoughts on the rap game?
Man, I love it, man. I love how versatile it is, man. I love, man, it got some niggas that's lyrical because I do all types of music, man. I do trap, I do drill, I do everything, man. I do EDM, I do everything, man, because I don't never want to be one-dimensional because the game might change at any moment, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it might change this type of music or this type might take off. So I don't want to get stuck in this lane doing this type of music and I'm not going to evolve. That's a lot of people can't make it because they don't know how to evolve.
What would you say is the biggest risk you took that paid off?
The biggest risk I took moving here. I lost a lot, man, moving here. Man. That's why I said I was doing good in the city and in Chicago, and I moved here, man, and I had to start from the bottom, man. I ain't never had to go sell blood, man. To feed my family sometimes, man, I used to have to go sell blood, man. And, man, I used to sometimes cry like, man, did I make the right decision, man? Did I make the right decision? But it started turning over and turning around. And then I was like, man, you just gotta have hard work and dedication, man. You stay with it. You never know what's around that corner. You might stop right before you get around that corner and your dream was right there with his bags packed, ready to go. But you stopped right before you got to him, so you just gotta keep going. So my biggest was moving here, man. I took a lot of chances and it paid off.
I feel that. So speaking of meeting Kanye, you also met Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, yeah, I met Floyd, man, and that's another thing was speaking into existence, man. That's why I was trying to pop my mixtape off, and I was at the crib because I love boxing, and I just saw how he was working out, man, and how he had a hard work and dedication to his craft. So I just looked at the screen and I was like, I'm gonna meet that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't just gonna meet him on no fan thing. I'm gonna meet him and we gonna do some work. You know what I'm saying? So I started going to Vegas to the fights, man. Me and my man High, we started going to Vegas to the fights or whatever. So one day, I go in the back, you know what I'm saying? I go in the back where the cameraman was at. So I snuck in the back, and I was like, I told the cameraman, I was like, man, I'll give you a few dollars, don't say nothing, act like I'm with the crew. So they like, man, we respect it. They like, no, you with us. So I'm back there with them or whatever, so I'm blending in. So him and 50 come out, you know what I'm saying? This is like right when him and 50 was, they come out or whatever. So when they come out, I go up to him with the CD. So it's security like, oh, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, little man? So I'm like, no, it's all good. So Floyd like, no, he good. So he's like, man, give it to me, you know what I'm saying? He like, you give it to him. I give it to him. He give it to 50, you know what I'm saying? He's like, man, we're gonna check it out, man. We're gonna see, you know what I'm saying, to see what you got. So that was, I say that was like probably May of that year. That September, they had they was in Miami. They was in Miami, you know what I'm saying? Me and High again, we went down there and I saw them in Miami. I did something, I snuck somewhere and seen them in Miami. Then I think they had the BET Awards here in Atlanta, and that's when I lived in Chicago. We came down here for that, and it just happens one of his mans seen me at the club, man. His man's P. Rilla, man. He seen me at the club, and he was like, hey, man, he's like, come here. He's like, dude, I just seen you in Vegas. Once I seen you in Miami. He's like, man, give me your contact. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah. I said, dude, I'm just a nigga with a grind, man, a hustle. Man, I'd take my last. If I believe in what I believe in, I'd take my last, and then after that, but nothing came from that. I think he went to jail like right after that, so everything kind of like died down. But it was just that my vision, just looking at the screen, was like, I'm gonna meet him and watch I do it.
Real shit. Let's talk about your new project, Ride of My Life.
Ride of My Life. Oh man, it starts off, man, with the first song talking about the accident. You know what I'm saying? And then I got a song called Alexa. That's the song everybody love, man. That's probably the next song I'm gonna shoot a video to. And it's just like, I'm talking to Alexa. That's when people are like, man, how do you make a song where you talking to Alexa? So I'm just telling Alexa what I wanna hear. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling Alexa what songs to play. You know what I'm saying? As I'm rapping or whatever. And talking about my real life events. Like everything in the song is real or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm telling Alexa to play the songs that I want to hear that resonate with my life or whatever. And I really wrote that song for me, but man, that's the song that, man, everybody loving. Now, man, I just did a show at the Stank On It Studios or whatever with Coalition DJs, man, and they was feeling that song. And my other song, Hockey Hockey, which is the single, and that's the one right now that, man, everybody rocking with too. So, and then, like I said, I do different type of music. So I got a country song on there too that, you know what I'm saying, that everybody's rocking with too.
That's real.
Yeah.
You also released a documentary for the project.
Oh yeah, man, I did a documentary on my life, man. The documentary on my life was I was like, man, people wait till they make it and stuff like that to have a documentary. I was like, man, why don't you just do a documentary so people can see your journey up to now? You know what I'm saying? So that's what my documentary was about, man. Basically about, because it was following the ride of my life. You know what I'm saying? It's on YouTube, man. Hollywood Rocc, y'all go look it up, man. I was like, it's just based on my life, man, to show you like all the things I've been through or whatever to get to this point.
That's hard. What would you say is your personal favorite song from the project?
Probably I Grind. That's the one about the accident. That's the one that kicks the album off. You know what I'm saying? I Grind. But it depends on which mood I'm feeling, though. I have my favorites, but right now it's I Grind.
For sure. How did you end up landing on tour with the legendary Tela?
Man, with Tela, man, shout out to him, man. My man's, he managed him, and like I said, he seen me perform plenty of times, and he seen me get it in on stage. I said, man, that's one thing I'm cocky about is that stage. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody touching me on that stage, man. My energy is on a whole another level. So he was like, man, they approached me and they was like, hey, we want to add a little more to his show. So we want you to just come and do a rehearsal with him and do one show with him and see how it go. And I thank Tela for believing in me, because I'm like, man, he told him, all right, okay, let's see what he could do with it. So we did a show in Birmingham, and I killed it. And I just started studying his lyrics, man. I went to sleep with him. I was in the car with the lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Everything I did, I just had them earphones in my ear, man. And you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I got to know this word for word. So one day we went to the rehearsal, and he was like, man, did you steal my rhyme book? And that's when I knew then, like I said, my dedication to it. And then, man, he's like, man, we've been locked in ever since, man. And he like, man, I love you being out there with me, man. So I always thank him for that opportunity.
That's hard. What would you say is the biggest challenge that comes along with being an independent artist?
Man, the biggest challenge, man, sometimes, man, you got to do it all yourself, man. Sometimes everybody don't have the go mentality like you, man. That's why I always rock with Nip. When Nip say, man, everybody can't go. Man, I felt that in my heart when he say that, because I'm like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, when certain things, man, sometimes you got to make money shake to make things happen, man. If people don't understand that, they think it could just happen like that, man. That's why when somebody's willing to help, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, I don't got no manager. I'm like, man, if somebody want to come manage me, they love a nigga music, whatever, man, approach me. Like I said, I listen. You know what I'm saying? I don't cut nothing off, man, because sometimes I can get so far by myself, but I might need that little push. So independent, it'd be good sometimes on the back end where you get it all yourself, but you forget you gotta make it to that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So what else are you working on right now?
I'm trying to just still push this album, man, before I do the next one, because I got a lot of singles on here to push. So before I start working on the next one, I want to get all what I can and get squeeze out of this album and make sure that I pushed it to the best of my ability, and with videos and everything and doing shows, and before I move to the next.
I feel that. Any last words and shout outs?
Man, HP Squad, man, the guys, man. Shout out to Roseland, the Hundreds, man, Life Game, man, J. Missoula High, Hops. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all, man, and we here, we moving.
Gang, appreciate having me today, Hollywood.
My neck is so icy, that bitch, I can